Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the Wasabi Aquarium channel. Today, we will compare and contrast driftwood layouts versus stone layouts and break down the positive and negative aspects of each one. September, as some of you may know, is the perfect season to start a new aquarium layout as the overall temperature starts to decrease along with the water temperature. So recently, we have been getting a lot of questions regarding how to start a new layout at our store, and the most frequent question I receive from beginners who are looking to start a new layout is which layout material they should choose, wood or stones. There are also quite a few customers who bring us photos of their ideal layouts that they found online as references, but still do not have enough knowledge to judge how difficult the layout is to both build and maintain. Most questions that beginners have start with whether they should choose driftwood layouts or stone layouts, so today I will compare the two layouts and break them down into 5 categories. Choosing one solely based on preference is of course one good option, but it would definitely make much more sense to base your decision off of more logical factors such as how difficult each layout is to build and maintain, as it would be best for a beginner to work with the easier option and build their skill set from there. So now I will go ahead and introduce the 5 factors or categories that we will be comparing the two layouts. The first category is how difficult it is to choose the right material. The second category is how much freedom you have within the layout. The third is how difficult it is to build the layout. The fourth is how user-friendly the layout is. And the last category is how difficult it is to maintain the water quality. For the first category, which is the difficulty level of picking the right material, driftwood is simply a lot easier. As you can imagine, it's very easy to choose combinations of driftwood almost based on your preference. Of course, choosing 2 types of wood that look completely different would probably not look good. But as long as they are within the same category, it is very hard to be off from a visual standpoint. However, compared to driftwood, stones are a lot more difficult to choose, especially because there is quite a variety of stones within the same category or even within the same type of stone. Stones come in a wide variety of color and texture even within the same type of stone, and these differences in texture can actually cause a lack of unity when looking at the layout as a whole, so you have to be much more careful when choosing the right stones for your layout. The second category is the amount of freedom you have within the two layouts. Surprisingly, stone layouts actually win this round. The main reason for this is that stones allow you to build steep layouts and add more depth. Although it is not impossible to create steep areas with driftwood, it is quite unrealistic, and you would have to use stones to secure the driftwood anyway. So in terms of the flexibility you have when designing your layout, I must say stones definitely have an advantage in this category. You also have a variety of options, from placing one huge piece of rock in the center to create an impact at first glance, or to laying out small stones with precision. So there's a lot more room for creativity as well. For driftwood, on the other hand, it's a bit more difficult to make the layout look unique and stand out from the others, but it's not that big of an issue that beginners should be worried about. The third category is how difficult it is to create an impressive layout. As you may have guessed, driftwood wins this round. This sort of overlaps with the first category, but if you choose a strong, healthy piece of wood, you usually cannot go wrong, and it's very easy to bring the quality of your aquarium to a certain level. Of course, there are different factors that make up the layout, such as aquatic plants and other materials or animals, but driftwood overall is very beginner friendly and placing one strong piece of wood already gives the aquarium a solid look. On the other hand, there are a lot more factors in making a stone layout look visually impressive, such as the placement of the stones, the way that each stone is facing, their textures, and so on. So on one hand, there's a lot more room to flex your creativity and you have more creative freedom, but on the other hand, it's easy to go wrong with a stone layout, and it may take some time to build a good sense of how to make your aquarium visually impressive. So, I personally think stone layouts are a bit more difficult for beginners, but at the same time it will be a good and fun challenge. Each person's creativity or creative mind is unique and different, so there is a possibility that the stone layouts are much easier for some people, so please understand that this is based on my personal experience. The fourth category is which material is more user-friendly, and this is actually an easy win for the stone layout. For stones, you only need to briefly wash them with water before placing them inside your tank. On the other hand, driftwood is a completely different story. First of all, they float, and then they release scum that damages your water, as well as the white fuzzy mold. So there's a lot to deal with until the wood stabilizes inside the aquarium. It is much less time consuming and much easier to just place the stones, wash them a little bit, and place them inside your aquarium along with your plants, fishes, and other material. No excess material comes out of the stones too. For driftwood, the scum makes your water turn brown, and it also floats, so you have to secure it with stones or tie them to other materials inside your aquarium. So you'll also need to place filtering charcoal to maintain clean water, so the process is actually a lot longer and more tedious. However, there are specific methods that will prevent these issues from happening, which we have covered in our past videos, so please take a look from the description below. The fifth and final category is maintaining water quality, and driftwood wins this category by far. Although this does depend on certain conditions, stones tend to have an effect on the water quality, especially in terms of the pH level, where stones tend to add more alkaline to the water or make the water more harder. Of course, this depends on the type of stone you place, so please note that it may not be a mutual negative point across all stones. When your water becomes harder and becomes more alkalic, it will in some way have a negative impact on the growth of your water plants. When you first build your layout, actually your soil will force the water to be mild and soft. But this effect will weaken over time and the water quality will definitely change, so you will definitely need to implement prevention methods. On the other hand, you can leave a piece of driftwood inside your aquarium as is, and your water will stay mild and soft, so it's very easy to use and will create a very healthy environment for your fish and your water plants. So if you are worried about your water quality changing, I would simply go with driftwood. But there are certain stones that do not have any effect on your water, such as lava stones, which could be an easy and good choice for beginners who want to use stones, so there is a possibility that the stone layouts are much easier for some people in their layouts. So today we've covered 5 categories in order to compare the positives and negatives of stones and driftwood layouts. So please use this video as a reference when choosing which material to place inside your aquarium. For those who are already fixed on which material they are using, please use this video as guidelines to maintain a healthy environment as well as any necessary prevention methods for each material. Personally, I think it would be best to choose one material first, and then when resetting your aquarium or building an additional one a few years later, you can choose the other material that you have not experienced yet. By experiencing more layout materials, you will be able to hone your skill set and creativity, so it'll definitely be beneficial to challenge yourself to use a wide variety of materials. Of course, stones and driftwood both have their own forms of beauty, so being able to utilize a variety of options will eventually allow you to create a layout that goes beyond your imagination. If you have any additional questions or comments regarding layout materials, please feel free to write them in the comment section below. Although we may not be able to answer each question individually, we will create additional content based on the popular questions that we receive. If you found today's video helpful, please leave a comment, like, and make sure to subscribe to the Wasabi Aquarium channel. We will continue to create helpful content for aquarium lovers, so your continuous support will be very much appreciated. And hitting the like button will also be greatly appreciated. That's it for today. Thank you.